the foreign minister. Hana tete koda. O country Lord, I so friend no country no. Na Lord na country no say. Oh, old man. It is our assembly one jamuana. Again, assembly. One time, in fact, twice, Sawumanu, now I hear who champion jockey, were Congress meeting. First time, no, whether it's Tamale, or Miri. Second time, somewhere. Third time was 6 March, as through honor. So no a foreign minister. Or some people woman some guests. They came late, one more chia. Or chia me you know, from her throat. Later on, me besides her then. Not knowing. Me know. Samu ko na mu chia big people or mampeni for the big chiefs, big chiefs, manchame. Na mu shwe mu ka se mu be use sa chance am nianu kindia. Mu shwe se on share sa de no. Ring no. Because say who try John obey you, who na over ping. Aha. Yeah, chance a chia manchame. Not knowing, Shami Miji Nuhunam Ndoso. Nemuta Takoda nu or Shami no mian.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight has been so good, so electrifying, that I just have to, on behalf of all Ghanaians, and especially those of you who are here, say a big thank you for making this a night to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, when I saw her in my office a few weeks ago, I don't know what I said to her, how beautiful she was still looking. But after she left, I was commenting to someone that she's looking as beautiful as my wife. Somehow, they have just refused to age, and they've left us to age and gray. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the world would have been like without music. You know, especially so for my continent, Africa and Ghana. I mean, can you imagine how miserable and depressed people would be without good music from such artists, from musicians like her, like the others who perform, the younger ones and the older ones?
It's nice to hear the determination, your determination to organize towards a 2020 victory. And yet, there are some amongst us in the leadership who initially didn't think, after 4 years you can wrestle power from these people. And yet, if I may speak frankly, have gone ahead and almost purchased the power of this party into their pockets and claiming to be aiming towards 2020, when I know when some of you should know that their aim is not really towards 2020. Because it's not easy to wrestle it from these people in their so-called midterm stride. But that natural trough could and may and will come possibly after 8 years. Meanwhile, you've secured 2020 out of the way for yourself, so nobody will be the whatever, knowing damn well that you just give it from full what you call it to pass through when you know 2024 is your target, when they will also be quite weak then. And let me repeat it. And this, you're so strong, so formidable, that some party is like it's created and being financed by the West to take away some members of your support base in order to make you, to put you on an even keel with another formidable party, the MPP. You will believe that after 18 years in office, I leave office, my wife and I, we didn't have $1 in any foreign or local account. $1. In the first place, we didn't own even a foreign account then. Former Secretary General Kofi Annan said he wanted me to help our situation in Africa, the campaign against HIV, etc. And that I need to have a foreign account because they'll be paying some allowances. That was the only time I asked my wife to be kind enough, and she went and opened a joint account. Not once did we ever use money to say we're bribing people for their votes. Money isn't necessary or necessity, but don't use it to destroy the moral fabric of a situation. Some of my leaders want TNT. For those of you who are wondering about this Moses brush, maybe we'll call it Moses broom. Since the president has decided he will use his shaven head to get rid of coronavirus, what's it called? COVID-19. Whatever. I will use Moses' brush to get rid of it. And when it happens, then I think we can go back to our normal looks.
In 1992, the country was open to multi-party elections, and Jerry John Rawlings hit the campaign trail as the presidential candidate for the National Democratic Congress. The NDC has a vision of social development, economic justice, integrity, and accountability. As he spoke on the podium,
this country is not going back. She's moving only forward.
it was clear that JJ was still a man of the people. He continued to hold true to his beliefs that enabled him to rise up against the economic injustice of the 1970s.
When we took over the reins of the economy, ladies and gentlemen, Aborso, places like that were dead. AGC was producing what? Half or 1/3 the current volume. 1/3 the current volume. We have triple AGC's goal. When we started off with nothing but one thing: the truth and integrity. The truth and integrity. And this is what has brought this country out of the darkness. Now that we are beginning to see the light, with the responsibility and the duty of accomplishing what we set out to do, Do we want to see the clock 10 back? Do we want to see the clock 10 back?
Better shut up when I'm talking, okay? Hello, listen.
Ghanaian leader, Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings.
All planters, do you have corn? I'm talking about planters, not diggers. Let me see you by the hand. Up. Good. Now, those of you who has the corn sacks, go and supply. But you've got corn in your left hand. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now, those of you with the sacks, better watch out and feed us, okay? Now, where is he? You take over.
Under Rawlings, Ghana has rediscovered a sense of direction. He is pursuing a policy of socialism, but the slogans are often more militant than the practice.
And the line is not straight. Move.
The country does need strong leadership. One urgent goal is to re-establish respect for farming. Another is to improve efficiency on the land.
The point is, as they dig the holes, you, the planters, put the seeds in their holes. All right? Every digger, make sure you got a plant.
Rawlings' high-profile politics include setting a public example in the fields and encouraging the masses to cooperate in self-help.
It is only by collective effort that the nation's problems can be solved.
And we say it's democracy. When money is at play, how can I be the founder of such a party? Ladies and gentlemen, this thing was born out of fire. No. It's the ugliest form of corruption. I'm not saying money isn't necessary or necessity, but don't use it to destroy the moral fabric of a situation.
I know the potential of humanity. So when you're talking about the effects of some of these things, sometimes, these superpowers must learn to accommodate and to live and to accept patriotic leadership, patriotic citizens. Too often, they're happier with people who are not patriots. But you in Europe, don't get angry, you never seem to know the role that some of your bad businessmen, you have good businessmen, and I respect them, but some of your bad businessmen are always doing bad things on our continent. And it's our people who suffer. Has been committing the most atrocious crimes. I'm not saying this because I'm in a position. I would have wished they had continued from where we left off. I would have saluted them and praised them. My country would be flying. But my country is involved in the most massive corruption, some of the brutal killings that have taken place, terrorizing, recruiting people from their parties into the police, the military, etc. And yet, BBC, CNN, Sky, American, media, the print media are all quiet because they want to portray the image of that fine Ghana as a showcase for the rest of Africa, so that they can use Ghana, who has done so well from my time in